this is for people who are healing from narcissistic abuse. And it's very similar to people who are going through loss and who are grieving, okay? Because narcissistic abuse is called, healing from it is called complex grief, because there's a few combinations to it. You are grieving the loss of a person, more on that in a moment, but there's also complicated emotions such as abandonment, betrayal, and trauma bonds, unconscious trauma, codependency. So there's a lot of emotions going on, and that's why it's called complex grief. That can also happen to people who are grieving the loss of somebody close to them who's abused them as well. Okay, so why is healing from narcissistic abuse grief? Because when you make the final cut with this person, that's a death. Because unless you restrict them and cut them off from having access to you for the rest of your life, what will happen is what so happens with so many people, and people who don't even realize that they're in abusive relationships. This is what their life is. Life is just a miserable up and down existence of the narcissist who is deeply traumatized, abusing, then fake apologizing, and the caring person taking them back, and it's and it goes backwards and forwards like this for decades and lifetimes. When you decide to cut the attachment wound off, the codependency, the trauma, all the unconsciousness, you say that this person has no access to you for the rest of your life. That's the only way to do it. That's the only way to do it. And so it's as if that person has died, because you're never going to... There will be, like when a person physically dies as well, there will always be a connection in the ethers, but physically there is no physical connection anymore. So you are grieving the loss of a person. It's as if this person has died, okay? So you have to... But it's kind of, again, very complex, because the person actually is still alive. So you're grieving the death of somebody who's still alive. But that's why it's very complex, as well as all the other stuff that I've just mentioned. So what happens is there's the feelings that people feel when they're grieving the loss as well of a loved one are the same. So it feels as if, because when you've had a very long relationship with somebody, their energy is literally inside of you. And this is the same with grieving the loss of someone close to you, right? So that's why when you hear a song, or when you get reminded of them, or something laughs at something that they would laugh at, or it's all memories as well, your memories come back of the past, it's as if it's happening to you right now, because they are inside you. They're inside of you. This is why grief is so difficult to deal with. The energy of that person is inside your physical body. So when anything that triggers, it's not even like a memory of the past. It's as if they are there with you. There, right there, inside of you. And so the only way to get through it is to literally get through it and to feel that until the energy has left, until it's physically moved out of your body. Their energy has moved out of your body. There's no easy way around this. This is why grief really is one of the worst pains. I don't know of a pain that goes so deep, because their energy is inside of you. So there's different things that you can do. A purge has to happen, basically. It's a purging. Kambo, for example, can be good with that, because that's exactly what Kambo does. It purges energies out of you. But, you might not be into that at all. Like, what I do with people is it's your presence that moves things through you. And at the foundation and core of everything has to be moved through you, through your presence, through your conscious awareness, through you observing and watching and feeling until that energy moves out. And then it's like, well, how long is this going to go on for? How long is a piece of string? They do say healing from narcissistic abuse takes between 18 to 24 months. There's been studies done on that. I can vouch for that as well. It took me 2 years to have that energy purged completely out of me. And you do feel, one day it just changes. And you have to bring your presence practice every day. Feel it all. Feel all the complex emotions. All of that move through you, just like the astrological energies move through you as well. And to be honest with you, the grief moves, as well as other grief as well, moves through with the astrological changes. That's why if you start to study your astrology, it's very, very powerful as well. Because your astrology is literally when things had happened to you at certain points in your life, when people were born, when you met this person, when somebody died, when you were cut off and there was a physical disconnection from somebody. Honestly, you really should look at the astrological alignments of that. What kind of phase were you in when that happened, right? Well, then that means that energy is going to, whatever it was implanted in, imprinted into you, that energy is going to move through, will be with you for this amount of time until this eclipse season has ended, or this full moon has come to fruition, or this planet has gone through its transit. That's literally how